So welcome back for part two. It's just so much good footage that I ended up having to make two videos. So Cidero's got Pantera in the bullpen, and he's progressed to working with this bareback pad. And if you've been watching us for any length of time, he does this with everybody, and so just a lot of the same stuff. So that was kind of fun. She's pretty bouncy. She's definitely very expressive about how she feels about that. So he's trying to move her here, just keep her feet moving so she doesn't lock up. And then she starts kicking at the flag. So he had to kind of deal with that. So you can see she's got a ways to go before he can get anywhere near those back feet to actually teach her to pick up her back feet. So you could see he's just gonna just stay with her, let her kind of move away. And so poor thing, she's like, this thing is around my middle, I'm suffocating, and this flag is on my legs. But he really needs to keep her moving because they explode more, when they lock up and freeze. So now he has progressed to just, she's settled down quite a bit. He's just kind of rubbing on her, touching her all over. You can never really do too much of that. You could see how she reacts when he goes down her front leg. So he's got lots and lots of work to do there. And rubbing on her butt. And you can see she kind of gets tense and leans her butt into him a little bit. So he's really pushing her here. But, you have to be real careful not to go too far. I am so jealous of his really long arms because I cannot do this. Oh, my arms don't reach that far, so he can still keep his body fairly protected, and his arm and hand can reach all the way back there. Then he gets into padding again. Like I said, the padding is huge, so he's going to be doing lots of padding, especially on a sensitive horse like this. Just really getting her to be desensitized to that and start to really relax and not be so tense. It's a really good gauge to judge kind of where they're at mentally and how they're handling the training, if they're real flinchy or real sensitive still. And she's obviously pretty cinchy there. You can see how flinchy she is around her girth area. So lots and lots of work to do still. This is just a great camera angle that you could really see how twitchy she is. And then he just spends, a really good amount of time, working through it. You don't want to just stop when they're still so flinchy. And this stuff just takes time. You just need a lot of patience and just, stay in one area until it starts to get a little bit better. I think people sometimes they just kind of rush and go through stuff and aren't really thorough with it, and then it ends up having an issue later on that's bigger. This is just a really great example of just body positioning too, like where his body is. He's got her head cocked to him a little bit, just a kick in case she decided that she was getting pushed a little bit too far. Of course, the goal is to not push her that far, just push her enough. So here he's getting ready to saddle her, same day, same session. Just kind of tossing that over. And I love how he always pushes it down over their butt. This is kind of a nice heavy pad too. That it just kind of, it's soft, but it's got some weight to it. This is our just old beat up barrel racing saddle that we use for a lot of first saddlings. It's light, so it's easy to throw up, up there over and over again. And I love that, he's just letting her check it out. Like, she's sniffing it and checking out, like, what is that? It's great. Give him a moment to really look at stuff, that you're about to throw on him. And when she sniffed it, she was like, no, that is not going on me now. It's just kind of funny. I love how expressive both these mares are. Super expressive and interactive. Really fun to train. And boy, this is a pretty mare. She's a really good looking horse. So I cut out a lot of this because it takes a long time to get a horse saddle for the first time. A lot of throwing the saddle up and down, up and down, up and down, over and over again, both sides. Putting it up one side, taking it off on the other, and then just cinching him up it's not a quick process. Like he's put the stirrup down and see how she kind of reacted to that. Then he's got to really work on her girth area, desensitize her to that. So I cut all that stuff out. So I kind of get to the nitty gritty here. And so this was interesting. So she was like, as long as she could follow, he's trying to get her to lunge her, to let her kind of work out that saddle. And she didn't really want to move. So he's like, all right, just have her, I'll just lead her. And she was like an old broke horse leading her. That didn't seem to bother her. As long as he was leading her, she was kind of cool with it. And you see, he kind of shows her the stirrup, and she seemed cool with that. All right. And then she just goes to show, like, she looks totally cool and relaxed, right? Well, you're about to see something kind of fun when he actually lets her go and move out on her own. Just always be prepared for something to kind of happen. Don't get too comfortable when you're first doing this with these new horses. Then he sort of realized that the saddle was a little bit loose here, so he's going to go ahead and tighten it up before he sends her out. Let her run around a little bit. So it might have a lot to do with why she reacted the way she did, which you're going to see pretty soon here. I love how he threw the line out like that too, so he doesn't get tangled. She really had a lot to say there. She had a lot to work out. I like that it wasn't like gnarly though. Like it wasn't some crazy, rear sideways crazy buck. Just some, animated crow hopping. And so here she is. She's doing okay now. She's kind of accepted that thing's up there. It's tight around her, her girth area. And she's moving nicely and listening to him. And I love the bend that she has. Yeah, really, really focused on him. That's looking great. Not too bad for first saddling. It's kind of fun to watch, though. There we go. So this is kind of a cool little technique that he's got. You put that lead rope in there, moving that sucker around, pulled on her, you know, and I like actually how she kind of braced and went, leaned against that pole. Just moving it around. She's got her little ear on it and she's checking it out. This is so cute. I don't even think he has a lead rope on her. She's just following him around. So she was a little uncomfortable with him moving that, and he just disengaged her hind end. He's got her loose here. He just progressed from having a lead rope to now he can do it without a lead rope, and she just kind of follows him around. She's really kind of latched on to him. This is just showing that, you know, he's doing all right with training because she feels comfortable with him. Even though he's doing scary stuff, she feels safe and comfortable with him. Saddle is off. All done with that. Always lots of rubbing. And this is kind of funny because he doesn't have anything attached to her and she's just kind of following and watching him. It's cute. And so he's going to spray her off again. I think he's spraying her off like every day, which is awesome because she's going to get really used to it. And getting much better, but you can still see she's real kicky with those hind legs. So it's going to be fun to watch all the different stuff he's going to have to do to kind of get her over that. She's probably one of the more kicky ones that we've had. And this is great. So she's like, nope, I am not coming back through that gate. Her pen is literally on the other side of that. So he's got like a little kid's lariat rope here. And he's just going to put it on her butt and give her a little bit of pressure there. And she's like, whoa, what's that? So if you're alone, you don't have somebody to kind of push them from behind and they are just saying absolutely no, this is a nice little technique to use to get him to come forward. And she's like, okay, yes, sir, I will come now. Now, of course, Isidro being Isidro, he's going to do this. I think he did it like 10 times. Back and forth, with the rope, without the rope. So it's not just like you got to put the time in. You got to, do what it takes. Can't just kind of be like, oh, good, I just got the horse in there, so I'm done. Nope, if you want to stop having a problem later on, you've got to fix it, And I'd cut a lot of it out. I'm not kidding. He did it like 10 times. And so there, I think it was without the rope. She walked right in there. So that was great. So here I am with Chancla, working her in the round pen for the first time. We got her in the round pen, and she is so out of shape. Oh my gosh. So I just did a lot of trotting, got her in a little bit of a sweat. Didn't want to push her too hard. It's warm out. She's obviously very, very out of shape. You can see all her jiggles. Yeah, but she's so darn smart. I mean, just check her out. She's like, she just picked this up so fast. I was like, go that way. She's like, all right, I'll go that way. She's like, okay. And I'm encouraged that she actually was willing to trot, and I didn't have to put too much pressure to get her to trot. So this is funny. Oh my gosh, this is what I look like when I run too. We both have to get in shape. And so I was using these whips to kind of push her, so then I desensitize her with them, and she's completely loose here. And ooh, that was interesting. She kind of was like, "Woo!" I wasn't expecting that. So I just kind of stuck there, and then she relaxed on it. Still doing my positive reinforcement, but it just takes a lot of time, so I just cut a lot of that out. And then now I'm going to work on teaching her to lunge a bit. I'm real happy to be able to get her out of the pen though, and she's ready to come in here. She's pretty easy to halter, and so the time that was spent on that was totally worth it. And I love this. So you compare that to the first video where she was kind of losing it running around, and she's like, oh yeah, I know what this is. I'm cool with that. Even on her butt there, fantastic. Super happy with her. She was pretty distracted in there. She didn't like that she couldn't see her buddies. But I like that when I come in there, she's very focused on me, so that's good. Sometimes a little too focused on me. We're just working on leading, nothing real exciting. I'll work on leading her more next to me later, but as it is, I just want to make sure she's not going to spook and jump on me. So this is pretty cool. I mean, it's just basic lunging stuff. Like, I put my arm up, give her a cue, back it up with the flag. The sequence of cues here: arm up, cue, smack her on the butt a little bit. It's just a flag. It doesn't hurt. It's like totally soft. It just makes a lot of noise. So I was like, oh, look at that. We got a trot. Woo! She's so cute. Going the other way. Just do the same thing. Put my arm up, give him a cue, back it up. Oh, she wanted to check that thing out. So I was like, all right. I went ahead and let her check it out. Oop. Yeah, she was like, maybe I don't want to go. So I gave her a little bit more pressure there. And here, I would like her to trot. So I'm going to give her some more pressure, and then there we go. We got a trot. So we're going to have fun motivating this horse to move forward, it looks like, when she's relaxed. But there's some energy in there. We can get it out. And then, of course, I use the flag to whack her on the butt, so I'm going to desensitize her. Obviously, she's not afraid of it. I mean, you can see I'm rubbing her all over. She's doing really, really good. I did not even have to spend very much time doing this here. And I have the burlap sack here, rubbing her with it for the first time. She didn't seem to care. That was great. So I just kind of finished up here by teaching her to disengage her hind end and move it over. And I really want that back leg to cross over. So I kind of help her by pulling her, her halter here and tapping on her butt a little bit. Oop, she crossed over nicely. She was distracted. I think the sitter was riding a horse outside. There, that was really nice. Good girl. She learns really fast. And then I wanted to install a backup on her because she kind of comes up on me. So you can see she just kind of leaned back, and I reward her for it. I love that she already gives to the halter, like she put her head down. That was awesome.